Okay. So I kind of just like spaced out and the week just kind of happened and it was really weird. So yeah, I'm gonna react to chapter 242 of Rent a Girlfriend now. Yeah, see, I can't even remember the number for some weird reason now. So yeah, chapter 242 of Rent a Girlfriend. I remember everything that happened last week. Everything's fine. Everything's awesome. I can still analyze. I hope. Okay, without further ado, hi, I'm Faye. I talk about Rent a Girlfriend stuff, and yeah, let's mosey. Let's get into the chapter. A go with the flow invitation successfully executed. But what now? Wow, already getting a flashback, and it's page 1. We're getting a flashback. Like what? Chapter 242, The Girlfriend and the Investigation, Part 3, Miyajima, Reiji, Kanojo, Okrishimasu. Is there something you need? I've learned, do I? I totally shot from the hip there. Oh, this is so fucking cute. This is so fucking cute. Since she has nothing firm in mind for her investigation, I gotta help her out. The voice in my heart. I'm trying to get close to her with all my heart. Besides, I don't want her to go home. No, but I really do want to get close to her. Isn't there something that I can do? It's Hoshiba. Was I right? You want to watch YouTube or something? Huh? What's up with that all of a sudden? You got some recommendation or something? Of course, what's that all of a sudden? Me? Something like watching YouTube? It's weird. Can't you tell this is all off the cuff? That's not something you need someone for. It's way too obvious that I just want to try and get close to her. You're a literature major, aren't you? There's an educational YouTuber. They explain Japanese lit in a really easy to understand way. I really wanted to show you. I learned something interesting today. Chizuru's a literature major. I feel like this was said at some point before. I knew they were in different programs because he's business, but you know, this is pretty cute. It's pretty cute banter. Though I don't know anyone like that. I don't even watch stuff like that. If I just search for it, something's about to turn up. I channel her too. Is this going well? She's not recoiling, is she? Because of my selfishness? Well, okay. Just a sec, I'll set things up. I can watch YouTube with Mizuhara. I can watch YouTube with Mizuhara. Repeat because it's important. I did it. I did it. Wait, was there a name again? I think it started with Tia. If I can make it through search, results turn up, choose something which looks right, click quickly. I can just say, this is the one, and I go with it. As if I knew about them all along. I can do this. It's a life or death situation, huh? Oh, his eyes are gonna pop out of his fucking socket. So close! Way too close, and no wonder too. We're gonna watch it on PC after all. This should be about the distance, but she smells so sweet. I can't get any closer than this. If I do, she'll hear my heart beating like crazy. Focus on what's in front of you. Just gotta find a video ASAP. We all knew Yamori was horny. But hot fucking damn. Coronavirus Supreme Bras Top 5 Bras Showcase Tots Glam. This is perfect. Peak comedy. Yeah. This fucking face, her fucking face, oh my fucking god. He knows he fucked up.
I've made a terrible mistake.
He knows he fucked up and she's like, what the fuck is he doing? All my recommendations are Yamari-san's slightly risque videos. Coronavirus! Wait, you gotta be kidding me! She'll think I'm creeping on my neighbor! Wouldn't I be a cheater that way? This isn't what you think. She works really hard, you know, making videos. I just started watching because I was slightly interested in her videos are really interesting, so I couldn't stop watching. What do you mean? Isn't it pretty typical to be interested in your neighbor's channel? It was pretty cute, actually. She knows he's like, she's like being a bit mischievous, but she's like, maybe he did it on purpose, maybe he didn't. Let's feel it out. I like it, I like it. She's like feeling it out. It's really cute. Huh? It's fine. Even if I watch, she's fine with it? Oh, she's such an angel. Hey, let's check one out. Huh? Which one? That one at the top. The one that says underwear showcase. Chizuru. This boy's already horny. Don't do this. Don't. You're walking on a minefield. Oh no. What? Are you kidding me? Underwear? Alright then. Here goes play. Thanks. Actually, this one also has a wire underneath the arms. It looks really great. Wow, she's really intelligent about this, isn't she? I had no idea. Maybe I should try using this one next time. Just wait a sec, we're discussing underwear here! Is this really okay? We're just going about this as if it's business as usual! And she's saying stuff like, I want to try this one out and all! This atmosphere, it's really heavy! In a room alone with Mizuhara, it's like no big deal watching YouTube! The 2-cup really picks you up! I don't know what I expected from you, Mori. I'm impressed all the same. She knows what fucking sells. It's a goddamn product. Mii-chan's really funny. Like she's my girlfriend. I feel like crying. I think I should get going now. The stage play I told you about earlier. We're in the home stretch now. I need to check the script over one more time. Another producer who was there reached out to me after that, so I'm preparing for something with them now. Oh shit. Yo, that's setup. That's setup. She might nail this, and then she's gonna quit rental, and then it's all fucking there. Jesus, that's right. You told me before. That's right. Mizuhara is very self-disciplined, and she's surely extremely busy with her actress job as usual. I'll send you off. I'm your neighbor, literally next door. Even though there's no end to it once she starts worrying about Ruka-chan, amidst all that, she managed to make time for me. In the end, it could simply turn out there's nothing gonna change at all. Yamori-san, it's not gonna turn out that way. Mizuhara has always been like that. She's never been one to just keep hinting at things. I need to tell her something! Mizuhara, I've been thinking about stuff, you know, since you told me you wanted to see your feelings for what they are. Whether my feelings really went through, but I'll just say this. I'll wait for you, for 10 years at least, even 20. I'll wait as long as it takes you. I'll wait until you feel you love me. People say this man don't got chat energy. Fuck out of here. And this, of course, reminds me of, the thing they're gonna actually be animating soon. Yeah. I'll be waiting for you. Oh, what a good shot. What a good fucking shot. Oh, what a good fucking shot. I'm gonna use this for the goddamn thumbnail. And for making time for me today, thank you. What are you saying? You've got the family business you need to take care of. You're gonna miss your chance at getting married like that. Says the one with the family ring. Please don't worry. I'll give it everything I have.
Just fuck already! Send me pictures!
Damn. It's adorable. It's adorable. And they're still doing the eyelashes thing. Later. Woo-hoo-hoo. Spring was right around the corner. My spring theory. Fuck all of you. I was fucking right. Fuck all of you. Oh. Oh, dude. Let's see what it says. Springtime has arrived in his heart. A little too early, perhaps? Out of the simple joy that he's able to see her face to face. Heart to heart. Next time, the great underwear debacle. My fucking god. Oh my god, this is great. This is fucking great. This was a really cute chapter. My spring theory is coming true. Fuck all of you. This is happening. Fuck every single one of you for doubting me. I love these little panels of like Chibi Chizuru. They're fucking adorable, dude. It's so fucking cute. The chapter is fairly straightforward in structure, but it does something really interesting. It kind of shows a sense of comfortability with Chizuru because she's watching fucking like underwear shit on YouTube with a guy she knows likes her. Like literally it's just about like them feeling comfortable with each other, and she clearly feels comfortable around him. But as Kazuya highlights something really interesting in this chapter, he points out that she not only hung out with him, she like watched this stuff with him, she did all of these things with him, she made time for him. And like this goes to show how busy Chizuru actually is, because like if you go back throughout the story, you'll notice her schedule is fucking packed. And this includes Paradise. She actively made time for Kazuya and connecting with him and having time for him, even though like shit like Ruka drives her fucking insane, or shit like Mami drives her fucking insane. That shows Kazuya like how much she actually matters, or how much he actually matters to her. And this again is a big stepping stone for her character. Like this isn't about, again, this is removing that rental aspect. This is like one of those like mini dates that seem like it's not a big deal, but ultimately has a much bigger impact than it initially seems. From what we saw on Twitter, it seems like Kibe is coming back in some way, shape, or form. Whether he's a monk or not, I don't fucking know. A Japanese friend of mine mentioned that people shave their heads when they feel like they've done something wrong, which would make sense. Another thing this time skip did in fact do was that it gave these characters time to think about what actually happened between them and really try and process all of that, but also probably go through their own character development in the background. This includes Kazuya's family, but it also includes Kibe, and maybe even possibly Mami's character. In terms of Ruka, that's going to be interesting to see whenever we do inevitably get to Ruka. But this seems like a mini kind of ending to this little arc, and from here on we're slowly going to be starting to reintroduce characters just based on what Reiji has shared on Twitter. So I do think we're going to slowly be reintroducing characters now into the forefront and just seeing what's changed with them and how that change for those characters directly impacts these characters. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. We're definitely going to be seeing a bit more of the college life again. I can kind of feel that because there was kind of like interesting setup in terms of the college life before Paradise actually started, which is like stuff like Minnie interacting with Curry or Chizuru's friends dating Kazuya's friends and stuff along those lines. And this, what essentially this did is that before Paradise, this created a power dynamic where now like these lies are colliding in different cylinders, and what it's doing is that it's making it so that it's showing how their lives are like completely spinning out of their control, and now they can no longer keep up the lie no matter how much they want to. What that did also too though is that it established a new dynamic in the school life that should be interesting once the characters interact with it in correlation with their love life. But because they hadn't interacted during the time skip, that didn't ultimately matter because there's nothing going on that those characters need to know about, yeah? And with Chizuru being as busy as she is, it kind of explains why, like, she was able to avoid him so well during that time skip. I actually... I ended up like going back and rereading, and I kind of like went over the time skip a little bit, and I'm like, wow, there's actually like a really good structure to this that makes perfect sense as to why it happened as it did. And while initially the time skip to a lot of readers felt very unearned, to me it actually worked perfectly fine. But I did feel a little bit weird initially about the 3 months, and then I went back and reread it, and I pay attention to the implicit information Reiji gives us, and I'm like, oh no, wow, this actually like works perfectly fine. There's like literally barely any issues of it. It's just the information is just not like spelled out for you. And the reason being is simply that like it's not, we don't need to sit through this 3-month time skip. Reiji's trying to keep the momentum. He's trying to build a positive momentum of anything and change the pacing far more quickly. As you'll notice, like this isn't really anything like Paradise. Like things are kind of moving. We're changing locations very quickly. Those little mini arcs aren't lasting nearly as long as like Paradise did. It's a lot more fun and lighthearted. There's a lot more jokes. There's barely any sense of drama. You don't really like feel like you're being really overwhelmed or anything like that. And that's kind of the point, is that the nature of this current arc, or this like kind of set of arcs that we're going through, are really lighthearted, and that's the point. Another thing you'll notice too is that Kazuya is far more determined here, and he's really trying to go out of his way to get closer to her, and Chizuru is essentially letting him. And this fucking reaction face, dude. I'm gonna have this goddamn reaction face in the fucking thumbnail, but the other thing I'm definitely gonna have is those two images that are like side by side. They look so good. Reiji knows how to deliver. I know a lot of people have been feeling kind of weird about the characters currently and how they're kind of acting. Again, I keep coming back to this. The whole idea of spring and getting into spring is that spring is a time of renewal. The reason spring is constantly brought up, the reason we're so close to spring, is because they're essentially renewing themselves as people. Again, as I pointed out in my earlier video, Chizuru is essentially going through a few things. One, Chizuru kind of knows she's in love. How she acts in correlation to what she understands as love, okay, does not match what she understands. So like, she doesn't act to her understanding that she is in love. And the reason for that is because she thinks like something like Ruka, and how Ruka acts is more like how she should be acting. This shows us something fundamentally important. Chizuru doesn't understand what romance is kind of like because she's never properly experienced it. What I mean by this is that Chizuru has always acted as a lover. She's never been a lover herself. And she's always just tailored to people's interests, but she's never known how to actually love a person in her own way, because people love each other in different ways and it varies for everybody. And this is kind of what that points out for Chizuru's character, is that she needs to learn. Okay, that's one part. Two, Chizuru's dealing with grief. Chizuru's dealing with grief. She did not get over it. It's not like the whole point of this entire saga that we've been on since like the cheer update has been essentially that this is Chizuru combating her grief and finding new meaning in her life. Finding new meaning in your life also means finding a sense of person, because you can only truly learn to love other people if you learn to love yourself and learn to understand like how you want to go about living life. Chizuru is extremely self-disciplined, so she can easily keep going with her daily routine, yeah? But that's just going through the motions. She's done this before, she's got her shit down, okay? So she can do that fairly well. It's not really a huge problem, okay? But that doesn't mean Chizuru is like actually fixing herself or changing. She's just done this before so many times, she can just do it again because she's a fucking actress. Good God, man, she acts. It's what she does. But it didn't change the fact that Chizuru was going through shit. And you see this in like the juxtapose between the interaction that Minnie has with Kazuya and the interaction Minnie has with Chizuru, where Chizuru was going through shit. And again, I have to constantly mention the goddamn fetal position. The goddamn fetal position. She constantly sits in it, and it's constantly, oh my god, this is so fucking adorable. She's really good at drawing these characters, just fucking adorable. So essentially, this is about Chizuru finding a sense of self, a sense of person, and through this, she can feel like she can find these emotions and properly embrace them. The reason she doesn't want to face Ruka is because, one, she wants to give Ruka a proper answer and she's scared. The reason she's scared is because Ruka is essentially an internalized sin. An internalized sin because this is what Chizuru does. We can go, here's a great example. Go watch the newest episode of the anime. What does Chizuru do upon her failure? She internalizes it, okay? So any mistake, failure, or misaction that she has done, whether it be Paradise or anything akin to that, she has internalized, okay? Chizuru internalizes shit. She blames herself for literally everything, and it becomes an internalized sin. Now, take that whole grief thing I fucking just mentioned, and what does grief make you do? It feels like your whole fucking world's falling apart, okay? So add that internalized shit that Chizuru loves to do, where she internalizes her fucking problems and blames herself for shit. Add that on top. Okay, now it's multiplied. She also blames herself for Sayuri because she couldn't tell Sayuri what she needed to because she felt stuck and unsure what to feel because she didn't even understand her emotions at that point. This is why I genuinely think grief is a huge factor of this, because like the entirety of Paradise Arc is centered around the theme of grief and like what grief means to each of these characters. In terms of like Chizuru's character, it's about like trust, control, betrayal. And then when like in terms of Mami's character, it's centered around those themes, but in like the completely reversed way, where she thinks like none of that stuff fucking matters and she becomes borderline nihilistic. And Chizuru calls her out on her feelings, making her realize that like, oh, I gotta like realize why I'm doing this, because in reality I just want to like have this freedom and this ability to chase what I want to chase. Yeah, so during the time skip, all these characters had time to think and reflect and go through shit, and now we're gonna be seeing what those characters have reflected on in this meantime as in correlation to these characters and how they want to deal with the situation they find themselves in. I fucking love this scene, dude. It's so goddamn cute. I fucking love this scene. It's so goddamn cute. Like she gets closer and he's like, oh, oh. His eyes just like pop out of his fucking sockets. It's like, oh man. And then this. Kazuya's face is like the best. Kazuya's face is like the fucking best. Maybe I should have this in the thumbnail too. Oh my god, mini dude. Fucking mini dude. Yeah, like see, this is fucking great. This is such good comedy. And she's just like, oh no, yeah, it's normal. I'm not gonna say anything for now. But once we start dating, I'm gonna fuck you up. Again, it's also playing still into that whole like sex theme of like that's been going on lately, where Kazuya's like imagining sex and shit and like going fucking ballistic and gunga gunga, doing interesting too, because like they're both horny. They're both like 21-year-olds. Like it's cute as shit. Yeah, it's just really funny. Like just seeing this with Minnie. I didn't expect this kind of shit from Minnie, but it makes sense. It was kind of like hinted at in the last chapter, where Minnie's like, it's a product, or 2 chapters ago, where Minnie's like talking to him and she's like, it's a fucking product, bro. Like that's what you do. You know, it gets Chizuru to chuckle and it's super cute. Or no, this is like 8 o'clock. It's like, yeah, this is fucking 8 o'clock, dude. And Chizuru's like already, oh yeah, I think I should get going now. Like, and to check the script over one more time. That means the play is coming up. I wonder if Kazuya's gonna watch her play. That's gonna be really cute. She like invites him to the play and things. And then we have another thing where it introduces the whole Umi dynamic one more time. And we see what the heck's going on with that. Because the whole thing with Umi, from basically like, again, this is something you can actually see in the more current chapters too, is that Umi is essentially trying to help, but he does the complete fucking opposite, while Kazuya actually helps. Umi tries to help by doing what he thinks he needs to do, but it just ends up backfiring every fucking time, and it just actually makes Chizuru feel like 10 times worse every fucking time. And that's just kind of like the issue with Umi's character, is like this is why he respects Kazuya so much, because Umi's just trying to do the same thing Kazuya is doing, but he fucking sucks at it, like terribly. Like, because Umi's really good at like connections, making connections, and like hyping people up, and like, you know, he's attractive, he puts on the act. Umi's just really good at that shit. But like, Kazuya has like a sense of genuinity to him, and his actions actually make change and impact. Umi's actions are more so like, and this is gonna sound a bit mean, kind of superficial to a degree. Like, they're kind of superficial to a degree, just as in correlation to his own character, where he himself is kind of like an interesting mystery box, where, you know how Chizuru is kind of a mystery box because she's an actor and she's really hard to figure out, but you can kind of understand her if you pay attention. Umi's kind of similar, but in like the reverse way, where because we don't get nearly enough time to interact with him, we don't know him very well, and he constantly gives off really weird gazes, and his actions like are kind of like mixed and stuff, so you don't know what to feel about his character. The way these two interact, Chizuru kind of has a good way of like grounding him, and that's what's kind of cute about this, is like that Chizuru kind of not just tailors to Kazuya to like because of the rental stuff, rather she tailored to Kazuya here to kind of see how she would feel about this kind of video, or because she knows Kazuya kind of has good taste, because Kazuya actually kind of has good taste. You see this like in the cheer update, where when they're renting, like Kazuya like suggests like looks at a certain dress. Chizuru tries it on. She's like, wait, what the fuck? You actually have good taste. What the hell is this? So yeah, Kazuya actually has good taste. And that's what's cute is that like when they're interacting, she's watching the stuff that he would normally watch. And because of that, she's like, let's see how I feel about this, but she really enjoys it. And that's what makes this really cute is like she actually really enjoys the stuff that he's watching. After that, she goes back to what she was doing. And this is going to be an interesting thing to play into their dynamic in the future, where depending on how things go, because like I just said with this part is like, I think Chizuru might actually succeed in this new gig. And in the process, she's going to get more stuff and she's going to get more into the acting biz. And thus she might not need rental anymore and she can drop rental, and thus there's no need to keep the job up. She can actually just date Kazuya properly, you know? So that's kind of what I think is going to be happening moving forward. Like this was pretty much set up for that, where it's like, that's the thing we were all like kind of weird about is like the whole rental thing. How's that going to work once they actually start dating? And it's kind of really hinting at them getting like much closer now, and Chizuru slowly figuring out her feelings. Doing a lot of self-reflection, self-awareness, becoming more aware of his surroundings. Literally, like, this is just all peak, like, fucking self-improvement. This is literally what this is. It's just, like, self-improvement to a fucking T, and it's, like, nailing that theme really, really well. Kinda. She kind of hints at things, but he's also not wrong. Chizuru hints at things, and that's just kind of what she does, but it's also because, like, she doesn't know how to go about things. When she kind of has an idea of what she wants to do, she kind of just goes straight for it, like straight line. That's kind of Chizuru's way. It's like, but when she doesn't know what to do, when she's lost and confused, she doesn't just hint things. So that's what's interesting here is like she sets the line pretty clear on what she wants to do, but the reason before she didn't is because she herself was conflicted and lost. Man, this line though, I'll wait for you for 10 years at least, even 20, as long as it takes you. I love how he says it 3 times too. Like he tells her 3 times, 3 times, dude. And I love how the light is shining on both their faces and they feel like they're on even ground. Like look at this, they kind of feel like they're on even ground, and it's really cool because they're both just looking at each other and they're both being like really earnest about their expression, where before Chizuru would feel kind of nervous and uncertain. Here, they both just look at each other with certainty in their eyes, and that's really cute. Like Kazuya looks really kind of mature here. He still has that adorableness that Kazuya has, because Kazuya is just like kind of has a cute factor to him. He's not really like handsome all the time. Sometimes he's just fucking cute because of how he's drawn. Here, he looks like a boy. He looks like a man. He looks like a boy about to become a man, and it's very cute. And then here, it's just like a girl just staring at the guy she loves. I'm like, oh, and I fucking love the stare off. She looks so fucking dreamy here. She's like, what do I love this idiot? What do I love this idiot? Like, this is so like, I can't get over this. This is so cute. That essentially tells us, it's like, don't worry, it's coming sooner than you think. And Chizuru's a hard worker. She'll get it. She'll figure it out. We're good. Everything's awesome. Everything's cool and you're part of a team. My bet, probably chapter 250. I feel like that's a really solid number to just be like, yeah, that's when it's gonna happen, because it makes sense. That's a good number to work at it. There's also a great follow-up to the anime episode where a lot of these themes and ideas were actually covered, so that's gonna be really interesting. And I love how like Kazuya pops off in his head and then he looks really determined here and super cute. I just like everything about this, all the interaction, everything. I'm curious if Minnie's gonna show up and be like, so you're gonna fill me in, you're gonna tell her about the underwear, and then Minnie's gonna lead them down the underwear debacle, which is like figuring out what underwear to get. Again, really fun chapter. One last time, I gotta talk about the lighting and how the light is shining on their faces, and it's like they see each other very clearly because Reishi loves to utilize lighting. Really cute. I love the details on the eyelashes again. It's very cute. Again, this whole entire thing feels very homey and comfy, and that's what makes it work in my opinion, is that it feels like it's a personal thing that's detached from everything else on like a deeper, more intimate level, because they're just hanging out and talking to each other. And yeah, that's all I've had to say today. I've been Fate, and remember fellas, I will see you next time. Remember, let's mosey.